The Necromancer of Pricene contains adult content and may not be suitable for children. Parental guidance is suggested. In the world of Turinlay rests an enormous island called Pricene. The nation of Pricene is governed by a king and council, though the real power rests in the hands of 10 cursed immortals, powerful supernatural figures who serve only their self-interests. The land is plagued with black-blooded monsters, corrupt political leaders, and bloodthirsty bandits. And the one man who is willing to stand up to them all just so happens to be an unholy abomination, a summoner of the undead, the Necromancer of Pricene.
Welcome back, my fellow scoundrels, outcasts, and miscreants. Allow me to summarize what's happened thus far. The Festival of the Fated Four was interrupted by an attack from several creatures that Wrath called Gorok'thin. I played hero and was rewarded with the Singed Blade, Wrath's personal weapon, piercing my back. Wrath saved my life by taking me back to his house and nursing me back to health. He told me of the Watchers, the Cursed, and the Woe Shards. After Wrath left to pick up supplies, I searched his house for my life seeds. I didn't find them, but I did find Wrath's journal, and the contents were much more disturbing than I had anticipated. I'm still at Wrath's house in Willow's Bend, but I'm beginning to think it's time to go. My name is Charts. I have the ability to reanimate the dead, and I'm on a quest to kill Torch, leader of the Watchers and the most powerful man in Pricene. I just need to get out of here first. Chapter 8, Captive. My shoulder and chest throbbed with the relentless rhythm of a hammer on steel. Turns out that being stabbed with a cursed weapon, well, it hurts. The dull thumping had spread to my skull, pulsing in time with my heartbeat, each thud a painful reminder of being stabbed in the fucking back. After discovering Wrath's journal, the sense of urgency to find my life seeds returned. I looked around the bedroom and the adjacent lounge, but no seeds. I eventually returned to the journal to scour the last few entries, hoping Wrath had mentioned them in the pages. He did not. I found one of Wrath's button-up shirts and put it on with the intention of leaving the house, but 2 hours of searching and moving about left me teetering on the edge of collapsing. My vision blurred, and my legs felt as though they'd been carved from stone. I needed a rest just for a moment before heading out, so I lay back in bed to recover a little of my strength. That moment stretched longer than intended, and I woke to the sound of someone clearing their throat. A low rumble that jolted me awake. Wrath stood in the doorway, his pockmarked face cast in shadow by the dim light, one eyebrow raised in silent inquiry. His presence was unnervingly calm, but his expression demanded an explanation. My mouth opened to provide a hastily constructed excuse, but the words died on my lips as my gaze darted to the desk where I'd read through the Watcher's diary. Panic tightened my chest. Had I remembered to stow the books back in their secret cubby before I fell asleep? Wrath's eyes caught the flicker of my panic. His head turned, following my gaze toward the desk. My heart clenched as I braced for the inevitable, but to my immense relief, We both found his desk precisely the way he had left it.
What were you doing out of bed?
I was stretching, as you suggested.
Did you stretch your way into one of my shirts?
Oh, yeah. Mine's ruined, and I can give it back if you'd like.
No, it's all yours. You've probably already bled on it anyway. I was planning to buy you a few shirts, and probably still should, since mine is a little tight on you.
It fits all right.
And why were you out of bed? I explicitly remember telling you to stay in bed. You could have fallen and opened your stitches.
I needed to stretch my legs.
I think we would get along much better if we didn't lie to one another. Don't you agree?
I wanted to check on my stuff.
Did you think I would steal from you? You have nothing material that I desire. I placed your travel gear and gem in the chest at the end of your bed. I even placed your money on the ledge so you would see that I did not rob you. The only thing I'm interested in is you.
I had seeds in my cloak. They're missing.
Oh, the acorns? I found them in your jacket. You weren't eating those, were you? Black oak acorns should be leached before you eat them.
No, I wasn't eating them.
Good. I was going to leach them for you before we left.
You didn't do that, though, right?
No.
Where are they?
I put them in the cupboard next to the walnuts.
Could I have them back? They're sentimental to me.
Sentimental? Sure. I'll get them.
A wave of relief washed over me as Wrath left the room for the kitchen, his heavy steps fading into the distance. My seeds were still here, and he wasn't aware of their importance. In typical Charts fashion, I panicked and exhausted myself searching for the life seeds when all I had to do was simply ask. As usual, I can't help but take the hard path. A thought occurred. Maybe I was making this whole thing more complicated than it needed to be. Wrath, for all his unnerving journal entries and ominous demeanor, had taken care of me. He hadn't stolen from me. In fact, he'd gone out of his way to return my items and nurse me back to health. Why would a cursed watcher, someone with nearly limitless resources, have any use for my meager possessions? Maybe I'd let my mistrust spiral out of control. Frank would have said that I was stealing problems from tomorrow. He would have told me to worry about the present. And just then, the present demanded I get better so I could get back to Frank. But then, like a slap to the face, the words Wrath had said moments ago came rushing back to me. I was going to leech them for you before we left. Before we left? Left for where? Panic prickled at the edges of my thoughts. I couldn't go with him anywhere. Frank was waiting for me, alone and vulnerable. And even if he wasn't, I wouldn't want to go with Wrath anywhere. He was not only a watcher, but one of the cursed. Everything about him, everything he stood for, was a contradiction to my purpose. The Advents, the Watchers, the Cursed, it all led to one man, Torch, the most powerful man in Pricene, the one person I needed to kill. That's the whole reason I'd been following the Advents.
Here you go. Your acorns are safe. Do you feel better now?
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now please do not get back out of bed until I permit you. It is for your own benefit.
Wrath.
Call me Ben, please.
Ben, you said before we left. What does that mean?
I need to determine why you are immune to the woe shards. I was able to document your healing journey, but there is still much I do not understand. Charts, you might be one of the biggest discoveries of our time. Unfortunately, Willow's Bend does not have the resources I need to conduct this study, so I'm taking you with me back to my home in Dawsner.
In Dawsner? I can't go to Dawsner.
Yes, I know it's a bit of a trip, but I have secured a coach so you can travel comfortably while you recover. Also, I know this is likely disruptive to your current travel plans, but rest assured, you will be compensated for your time.
I have other obligations that I have to see to.
What are they? I can make arrangements with Big George to have them cared for.
Well, Can I have time to think about this?
I understand your hesitation, but this is bigger than you, Charlton.
I just don't think I can do this. I appreciate you taking care of me, but I need to leave. I can't go with you. I'm sorry.
No, Charlton, I'm sorry. At some point, I must have given you the impression that you have a choice in the matter. You do not. You are going with me to Dawsner. We are going to meet with my colleague, and I'm going to solve you. Do you understand?
Am I a prisoner?
I hope that is not the case. I would like to work with you, together, as a team. Then you will be compensated for your assistance. If I'm right, you possibly go down in history for your contributions. You will be known as the man immune to woe shards. You will be legendary. But that is only if you come voluntarily. If you're unwilling to assist, then I'll be forced to detain you, and you will reap none of the benefits. We don't want that, do we, Charts?
No, we don't want that.
Good. Now get some rest. We are leaving in the morning.
The Necromancer of Pricene will return after these messages. Hey everyone, if you're enjoying what you're hearing but would prefer to continue listening without ads, we have an option for that. All of our Patreon subscribers get ad-free listening to every show in the Creative Typo Network. If you're interested in becoming a patron and supporting the show and the cast, we invite you to check out our website at www.creativetypo.com, and the link to our Patreon is right there on the front page. All right, back to the show.
The next day passed in a blur. Wrath attended to the travel arrangements with methodical efficiency and rarely left me alone for more than a few minutes. At some point, he handed me another dose of that rowan leaf concoction, a blend of agave and muddled blackberries. I drank it without complaint, and it pulled me into another deep, dreamless sleep. When I woke, I discovered Wrath had gone out and returned with supplies for the journey. Among them was a wardrobe to replace the few clothes I had lost when the rusted saw burned. It was more than I'd ever owned or really needed to own. A few shirts, a couple pairs of pants, some stockings, and undergarments had always done the job for me. The case Wrath had stocked with my new, more expansive wardrobe was also quite a step up from my old, battered pack. At first, I felt a twinge of gratitude. No one had ever made such an extravagant purchase on my behalf. But as I watched Wrath carefully pack my coin pouch, travel kit, and emerald into the case, reality settled in. This wasn't generosity. Money was no concern for one of the cursed. His attention to detail wasn't care. It was control. Whatever freedom I thought I had left was dwindling fast. As time passed, we spoke no more than 20 words to one another. There was nothing left to say. I was his prisoner. He was my warden. I concocted a dozen different ways of escape, which all crumbled under the weight of two harsh truths. My body wasn't ready for it, and Wrath was always close enough to crush any attempt. So I bided my time, restless and helpless. The day turned to night and the night to morning. Wrath packed the carriage with speed and efficiency. The man was a perfectionist, organized and particular. The enclosed two-horse coach was immaculate and clearly built for long journeys. Its ornate design and reinforced structure spoke of wealth and importance, but I only saw it as my cage. Wrath helped me into my seat and then closed the door, leaving me alone in the carriage. I nearly broke my silent protest to ask him where he was going when I heard the sound of a bolt sliding into place from the outside. I was truly trapped, any illusion I still held of autonomy shattered. Outside, I heard him climb into the driver's box and snap the reins. And just like that, we were on the road to Dawsner, the wheels beneath us creaking like the slow grind of inevitability. Now, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, Charts, isn't this exactly what you wanted? You've been following the Advent so that you could get close to the Watchers, and here you are, riding with one of their elite. Fair point, but there's something vastly different between stalking a group of people toward your intended target and being held prisoner by one of your target's most trusted colleagues. From what I found in Rath's journals, I don't believe he's planning to give me the freedom I would need to accomplish my goals, or any freedom for that matter. I stared out the carriage's thin windows as we rolled on. I measured the frames in my head and decided they were too small and I was too sore to attempt to slip through them. My thoughts wandered to Frank, who had been alone in the meadow for the last week. He depended on me, and I'd abandoned him. I'd failed my only friend. To distract myself from the endless fall into self-pity, I reached under the opposite bench and pulled out the new travel case Rath had packed for me. The clothes and the case together must have cost at least 20 crowns. I swapped the shirt I had taken from Rath for one of the new ones. At the bottom of the case, neatly folded, was my old travel cloak. Rath had stitched it back together and cleaned it. I hadn't noticed when he packed it, and the sight of it sent a rush of emotions through me. It was a small piece of myself, the only thing I could still call my own. I tucked the life seeds into the hidden pocket, folded the cloak with care, and returned it to the case. As I slid the case back under the bench, I heard a faint knock from beneath the floorboards. I ignored it at first, assuming the carriage had rolled over loose stones or uneven ground. But then it came again, deliberate and distinct. My eyes snapped to the floor, where I noticed a section of the boards shifting. I pulled back the thick rug in the center of the carriage, revealing a hidden hatch door. Before I could fully process what was happening, the door opened to reveal Anya's face, wearing an overly eager, conspiratorial grin. My jaw dropped as she placed 2 fingers on her lips, urging silence. She popped up through the floor of the still-moving carriage like a jack-in-the-box and sat cross-legged on the bench next to me. Anya? What are you doing here?
I came to save ya.
How? And why?
Through the floorboards, obviously. And 'cause I was bored.
Because you were bored? Never mind. How did you know I was here?
I heard you chatting with Rath yesterday, and I figured you probably didn't want to go with him. So I'm here to spring ya.
You heard me talking to... You know what? Never mind. This is great. Let's go.
Can't yet. We gotta wait for a few. There's a river coming up around the bend. It'll be noisy, and we can drop out of the bottom of the carriage then.
Okay, sounds good.
You still gotta be quiet when we drop, though. I know your shoulder's hurting, but you gotta try to keep it down, all right?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Is there anything we need to take with us?
That travel case right there. It has my stuff in it.
I'll take care of that. You should put this in your mouth.
A dirty rag?
It's not that dirty, and it'll help keep you quiet when we drop. We'll probably hit the ground hard, and I don't want you making a holler.
How did you know about the hatch?
I checked out Rath's carriage days ago while you both were busy. He already installed the hatch, I assume for nefarious reasons. Last night, he packed several of his cases in the storage area below. Later, while y'all were sleeping, I took 2 of his cases out and hid down there. That's where we're going out. Now put the rag in your mouth and get ready.
I did. Anya grabbed my travel case and plopped herself butt first through the floor and into the storage area. I followed more cautiously, mindful of my wounded right shoulder. The sound of the river grew louder, rushing past like a distant roar of applause for our imminent freedom. Anya opened the side panel of the storage section. With a quick turn, she rolled herself out of the carriage and into the tall, swaying weeds along the roadside. I took a deep breath, the rag still clenched between my teeth, and followed her to freedom. Anya was right. I hit the ground extremely hard, and it hurt like torches pike. The rag in my mouth did its job, muffling the sharp cry of pain that would have alerted Wrath to our escape. The rushing river masked the sounds of my graceless roll from the road into the cover of the woods. It took me several minutes to regain my composure and catch my breath. Anya waited, quiet and watchful, her sharp brown eyes following the carriage as it continued down the road.
I think he's far enough away. We should be safe to start moving. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Did your stitches tear?
I don't think so.
All right then, let's get going. There's a trail about a half a mile up. We're gonna take that trail and head to a place I know.
I can't. I need to go back to Willow's Bend.
I don't think you should go back there. Wrath is certain to find you missing soon. And the first place he's gonna look is Willow's Bend. You should come with me, and I'll keep you safe.
Look, I know it's not safe, but Frank is back there. I left him behind, and I need to get him before someone else finds him.
Someone already found Frank.
By the grace of Rowan, is he okay?
Of course he is. It was me. I went and got him the day after Wrath stole ya. He's safe. I'll take you to him if you stop jawing and start following.
Anya, you're amazing.
I know.
So,
Yeah?
how are the people in Willow's Bend doing after the attack?
They'll recover. Lots of people died, and lots more were injured. They had a big funeral for everyone that passed. It was real sad. Did Wrath tell you that your stuff got all burned up with the inn?
Yeah, he mentioned that. He bought me some new clothes, though, and he gave me my money back.
Still got your seeds?
Yeah, he gave me those back as well.
Good. I was worried that he would have taken them.
Me too. Do you know what happened with the Advents?
Those chumps? They took off after the fighting came to an end. They stole some coins from the dead people and skipped town as soon as they could.
So much for the fated four of Willow's Bend.
I'm sure they'll still be telling people all about their heroic deeds with the bandits.
You know which way they went?
Nah, they left while I was listening in on you and Wrath. People were a bit sore about it, so I didn't want to bring it up or nothing. The townsfolk are trying to figure out a new constable now, and some of Big George's family were killed in the attack.
What a mess.
Sure is.
Anya, where are we going?
I found an old hunting cabin, a really nice one too. It ain't been used in a long time, but it's still in good shape. I've been holding up there with Frank and getting ready to spring ya.
I really can't believe you saved me. And you saved Frank. I owe you so much.
Yeah?
Truly, I owe you a huge debt. Whatever you need. If I can do it, I will.
For real? You promise?
I promise.
Good, because I have a surprise for you at the cabin.
You do?
Sure do, but you gotta wait until we get there.
Anya winked at me, then flashed her devilish grin. Something about that look told me I wasn't going to enjoy whatever surprise she had for me at the cabin. We took the side path, the trail winding through dense brush and the uneven ground testing my battered body with every step. The cabin was closer than I expected, a small mercy given how every inch of me ached from head to toe. Anya had chosen the river as the rescue point, knowing it would drown out any sounds of our escape and keep us close to her hideout. Clever. By the time we arrived, I was practically dragging myself. Another mile, and I probably would have keeled over right there in the dirt. The cabin was grander than I had imagined. 2 stories tall with a wraparound porch that hinted at better days. It looked like something out of an old painting. 2 chimneys stretched skyward, one on each side of the house, while an overgrown garden of wild tomatoes and potatoes sprawled across the eastern side of the house. A pair of gnarled apple trees rested between the house and an underground shelter. The shelter doors were locked and barred, and vines had already begun their slow crawl up the weathered wood, blending the doors into the earth around them. I paused at the edge of the clearing to catch my breath.
We're here. How you doing?
Good, now that we've made it.
Frank's inside the cabin.
That looks more like a house.
If you say so.
What's in the shelter?
I don't know. I didn't look in there yet. Want to check it out?
Maybe later.
All right.
Anya,
Yeah?
you said you had a surprise for me. Is that inside too?
Nope. That's around the back of the house under the top.
Can you tell me what it is, or must I wait?
You don't want to see it first? I think it'll be more of a surprise.
I think I'd rather you just tell me.
That's not fun. But if that's what you want. Do you remember how I told you that some of the villagers died?
Yeah?
Well, I grabbed a few of them. Only the ones that still looked good to move and stuff.
When you say them, you mean...
The bodies. I had to dig them up. It was a real pain, but I was able to get them to the cabin.
Anya, why did you dig up those bodies?
So you could raise them up.
And why would I want to do that?
Do you remember when you said you owed me a life debt?
Yes, but...
Well, you promised, so I'm gonna need your help with something real big.
How big?
The biggest.
What is it?
We're gonna kill the king.
Charts is voiced by Josh Allen. Benjamin Wright, aka Wrath, is voiced by Ray O'Hare. Anya Esch is voiced by Blythe Renee. Audio engineering by Adam Culbertson and Richard Collins. Editing by Tisha Zang. Music provided in part by Elizabeth Blakely and written by Nico Rodriguez. The Necromancer of Pricene is a Creative Typo Entertainment production. For more information about this show, our cast, or other shows under Creative Typo, please check out our website at www.creativetypo.com. And thank you for listening. A very special thank you to our executive producers from Patreon, Nick Mead and Patrick T. Arseneault.